Hey there, I'm Josh. I finally got my system set up now for a basically backup light camera thing that beeps at you. Um, yeah, considered the ultrasonic distance sensor configuration to beep and be very bright right now because I learned that resistors on uh, the color change in LEDs actually does have an effect on the color. Yeah, because I was trying to make it dimmer, but I realized you could also make that in the code. So yeah, so here I have my system set up and it's wired pretty crazily because I have a couple of pieces on there that aren't being utilized. But the general consensus is that as you get closer to the distance sensor, it turns yellow, starts beeping, and as you get even closer, it turns red, which is quite annoying, right? Which, easy enough, the yellow isn't as yellow as I'd like it to be, but that's how we were taught to make it yellow. So yeah, and then other than that, I have the code set up, I believe it's this one here. Now, I basically organized it so that it made a little bit more sense. So basically we include the SRO4 library so that we have our basics for the sensor. The ultrasonic sensor does use a frequency that it sends out that we can't hear, that bounces off and reflects on whatever you have in front of it, which is also why I put in different things in front of it, have like slightly different responses because it bounces off my hand in different waves at different points. Ultimately that makes sense. I set my pins so that I had the buzzer, the light with the RGB. I also had then a boolean here so that we could identify that. Other than that, 7, 8, and 15 pins for the distance sensor details, and then we had oh well, I guess one of those would have been the let's see, it would have been 8 was actually the that button, or no, the sound. Yeah. All right, so that was sound. Then we go, that was basically my settings for the chirping sound because it made it easier to set it initially. And then we also had a couple of details in here that I actually got a little help with from chat because I was real frustrated with it and it really helped me out. Now, other than that, I had basically the zones that I created, the specified distances that the sensor is going to be at to trigger a certain thing. Then I also had the set color functions. I did have trouble with yellow because naturally we had problems there with an extra resistor that was unnecessary, which is great. But other than that, I also made them easy to recognize by using, I mean, technically binary, but it's not. Other than that, I have my if statements for the distances to be set specifically based on centimeters. And then it did give us instructions, I believe, in inches, which was, I don't even remember. All right, but anyways, other than that, we have our zones here set for different colors. I suppose this one would have been the, well, it would have been both, the colors and the chirping state. I also use the case system here because it made a little bit more sense. And then we finally have print the distance and a delay on the very end here so that it doesn't print too fast. So yeah, all working together makes a pretty good system for a backup camera if you're gonna put something in a car. And yeah, very fun. Yeah, more or less.